moving, so it's not going to be the same kind of effects. But yeah, we were saying for Jamaica, also, of course, by far the strongest hurricane to make landfall at the island of Jamaica since records were kept. And yesterday we were kind of deep diving way back into the late 1800s, and I was confirming there have been no hurricanes that strong on record making landfall at Jamaica. The closest were a few Category 3 storms, but since 1950 there was only one Category 3 in 1988. That was Gilbert, and besides that, you know, in a lot of people's memories, have not seen a storm that strong for Jamaica. Now it's just about moved out of Cuba, over Cuba, and now heading toward the Bahamas as a Category 2 hurricane still, but thankfully not as strong. And it looks like it's going to get picked up by this next trough coming off the coast of the U.S. and really accelerate as it moves roughly toward, or perhaps passing just northwest of Bermuda by tomorrow night and into Friday. And then it gets really quickly moved on to the north. Might actually no longer be a hurricane in this range of its forecast, but it might still be an extratropical system, possibly bringing some pretty strong winds and clipping Newfoundland before heading out eventually, maybe somewhere roughly toward Iceland. Still has a system of low pressure with some winds and rain. So really quite a system, and unfortunately hitting a lot of land areas, not just Jamaica, but Cuba, getting close to the Turks and Caicos and some southeastern and central Bahamas islands. Right now we're at 66 in New Orleans. Just kind of getting back to our local forecast, our dew point at 40, so really dry air. Our temperatures all around the area in the 60s, and I was pointing out pretty gusty. In fact, we've had some reports of some power outages scattered across our area from Jefferson and Orleans to St. James and Tangipahoa because of these high gusts. And we do have a wind advisory until 7 p.m. Just be aware you'll see those high gusts. We're seeing them at the lakefront near 45 miles per hour, the highest so far today. Not quite as much north of Lake Pontchartrain, but still 30 to 35 mile per hour gusts at some North Shore spots. And here's our system. If you're wondering why so windy, well, we've got this very strong low here, and there is out to the west of us a very strong high. So these are our isobars. These are lines of equal pressure. And when you look at a weather map and you see them all kind of squished together like this, very tightly located here, that's where you have your winds rushing from the high pressure area to the low pressure area, and it has to cross these pretty fast. So that's why we're seeing that windy setup around this low pressure that's still spinning off to our north. Our earlier radar was showing our line of rain and storms that moved in early this morning. You can see it passing through here during the overnight hours, so you may have missed it. Looking at our rain totals, they were not very high, but look at Galliano and Gulfport picking up about a ½ inch of rain. I was pointing out this evening, we're getting cool. Our winds are slacking off later today after we hit our highs today, around 65 with lots of sun. Tonight, 40s north and 50s south of the lake are expected. So your Thursday morning, here we are waking up to a chilly start north and finally a pretty cool start south of the lake. Our lows this morning, by the way, were in the 50s. Halloween evening looking really nice and cool this year, pleasantly cool, not super chilly. If you're out past sunset doing trick-or-treating or parties, you got lower 60s both north and south. And then by 9 and 10, you'll be dipping into the 50s north and south of Lake Pontchartrain. And then looking ahead to Sunday, I wanted to show you really quick, we may get this next little system a little low near our coastline, spreading a few showers in Sunday morning. So we do have a chance of rain. Doesn't look severe at this point. Looks like our rain totals would be pretty low with this, maybe a ½ inch or less. But just a heads up, we might actually have a little bit of weekend rain in the first part of your Sunday, especially to go with that daylight saving time change. We'll fall back an hour this weekend. Early next week, we're getting back into the 70s.